Hello, my name is Tessa Bose, and I am currently a student at the University of Guelph. Today we'll be introducing you to my Canadian Agri-Food innovation, a dual cow-calf tie-stall facility set to be built in Fort William, Ontario. This is Fort William Canadian First Nations Reserve, located next to Thunder Bay, Ontario. This reserve is far enough north that people within the community may struggle to purchase the necessities that are more so affordable for those in southern Ontario. In a society where food insecurity is still a concern for families across Canada, Canadian First Nations are among those who struggle to have access to resources that are so readily available for others. Surprisingly enough, agriculture is not always the most primary method of food source sustainability in these reserves, but this is about to change. With a relatively small population just short of 900 people, Fort William Reserve is the perfect example of what is a remarkable opportunity to implement agricultural practices, which is why this dual facility will be built here. With help from the Canadian government, a small facility set to house approximately 70 cattle will be built on the Fort William First Nations Reserve. The dairy end of the barn will look similar to this, a small barn featuring a tie stall, milk house, and calf pens to keep newborns warm during the winter months. It will also include a coverall and barnyard, as well as fenced-in summer pasture for heifers and milking cattle. The cow-calf addition will resemble what we typically see in Canada. Plenty of pasture for grazing and activity, as well as a coverall for steers during the winter. Dual-purpose shorthorn cattle will be the only breed used for breeding simplicity. They are known to be hardy, have a good temperament, exceptional mothering ability, and are well known to produce sufficient amounts of both milk and meat. Building the facility and buying the equipment needed will definitely be of cost, but simplicity is key to staying on budget. The setup will be as basic as possible, while still incorporating all components needed for both dairy and beef ends. As an example, a very simple blueprint has been drawn here to give a visual on how this facility will be situated. Although the expense will be high, the goal is that in time the operation will become self-sufficient and majorly benefit the community in need by providing a constant supply of both milk and meat. Fort William possesses exceptional soil quality, a plant hardiness zone capable of growing pasture and field crops, as well as a notable land base. With the arable land available, the goal is to grow all crops needed for feed and finishing diets, as well as provide sufficient, less quality pasture for cattle to graze on. Land will be maintained with equipment that will be provided for the community, including a tractor, plow, and fertilizer spreader. But beyond this, custom companies will be brought into the reserve to plant, harvest, and spray the crops when needed. For the maintenance and proper care of the cattle and facilities, those who wish to be a part of the process will be able to do so. This could include building the barn, taking care of the cattle, milking the cattle, bedding and cleaning, doing field work, etc. For the first year, 2 experienced farmers in both the beef and dairy industry will be on farm to give valuable training to those in the community. Those partaking in helping to maintain the farm will be taught how to properly raise animals and the importance of welfare. They will learn how to grow and maintain crops through the use of machinery, be able to spot key times in plant growth for certain practices to be done, and be taught the importance of environmental sustainability. By the end of the first year, the hope is that members of the community will feel confident enough to continue running the facility on their own while still having help readily available if needed. Overall, this operation will be of huge benefit to the Fort William Canadian First Nations Reserve and could potentially result in the implementation of other facilities across Canada if it is successful. Not only will it provide people of the reserve with nutrient-dense foods that they do not have to purchase and contribute to this reserve's economy, but it will also double as a source of education for those who are wanting to learn more about agriculture. For this operation to succeed, members of the community must come together and work as a team to provide exceptional care to the animals and maintain the facilities. This could provide a greater sense of morale for First Nations communities that may be facing economical or social struggles that are unfortunately still prevalent in today's society. Thank you for watching, and for further information, please feel free to contact me.